The volunteer program has made an incredible difference in the relationship between the community and the police.
If I would have solved 100 cases last year, now I can solve 200 with what's been created by volunteers.
I really do wish we would have had some sort of a program like this long ago.
It's assisted us greatly. It's got us with more time back on the street.
Volunteers aren't doing this job for the chief. They're doing it for the guys in the blue uniforms that sit behind the wheel of a patrol car.
Whenever we can relieve some pressure off of the patrol force, it's an added bonus to the department.
It's important to have volunteers be able to take up some of those duties that police officers don't have time to perform. And in turn, that frees up police officers to be more involved in patrolling neighborhoods and preventing crime.
Billings is actually the biggest thing going between Denver and Calgary and Minneapolis and Boise. Our crime rate is higher than the national average, and our officer-citizen ratio is lower, so we have our hands full. And that's where the volunteer program is a huge help to us. One of the most significant things that our volunteer program does that many others don't is it's virtually responsible for all the crime prevention activity.
The leadership team meets every week and works with every one of the programs that we have, Neighborhood Watch, the bicycle registration program, the newsletter that we give out throughout the community for the Neighborhood Watch.
The newsletter informs people. If we have a rash of car burglaries, why, we can let them know.
Also on Operation ID and ID kits for children. We can set up a booth at the mall or it's the child safety fair, and the volunteers just run the whole program where it doesn't tie an officer up for the whole weekend where he has to sit there and man the booth himself.
And thank you.
Yeah. The cop shops were started as part of community-oriented policing as a way of reaching into the community. And every day the volunteers come in shifts and call the complainants and complete the police reports. And last year we did over 4,000 of those reports. Got the warrant list for you. And we actually call everyone listed on the new warrant list and encourage them to clear their warrant, come in and pay or make arrangements, and it works very well.
Billings Police Department, Cop Shop West may help you.
They do all the things that we would have to do, which allows us to use our limited officer resource on crimes that are in progress, so we're very grateful.
There was a need to capture stolen items that were going into pawn shops because Billings has a pretty big problem with property crimes.
The Billings Police needed a way to compare the property sold or pawned at a pawn shop with their stolen items report, and I was asked to create a system to link those two data repositories.
The result was last year we solved 60 cases through the database that otherwise we'd have no way of solving. We had a robbery at one of our convenience stores, and this particular store uses a video surveillance system that is incompatible with anything that we have at the police department. I make one phone call to Mike Smith.
He says, oh, by the way, I've got this video file I can't open up. And I gave it to my video experts, and they couldn't open it up either.
Bottom line is within 5 minutes, I'm viewing this surveillance tape and have about 20 pictures of the armed robber. So the case goes from being insolvable to very solvable. If I would have solved 100 cases last year, now I can solve 200. It's that much of an impact with what's been created by volunteers.
I believe that the volunteer program has to be very professionally run. Volunteers go through an intense screening, and they are then put through some intense training.
Volunteers aren't doing this job for the chief. They're not doing it for me. They're not doing it for Penny. They're doing it for the guys in the blue uniforms that sit behind the wheel of a patrol car.
And the volunteers take up huge slack for the lack of manpower that we have at the police department. Whenever we can relieve some pressure off of the patrol force, it's an added bonus to the department.
They help us do the things that we just don't have the staff to do otherwise, and it's really a total win for us.
Fresno historically has been a community that supports law enforcement, a lot of activism on the part of our community members, and the volunteer activity that we have in our police department is somewhat of an extension of that. We provide a multitude of opportunities for volunteers to get involved in our department, whether that's through our Citizens on Patrol program, individuals that patrol in marked patrol cars in neighborhoods and shopping centers to prevent crime, or our chaplaincy, where we are able to minister to the needs of department employees or members of the community.
Our Citizens on Patrol group is a group of approximately 125 people at heart, truly committed to improving the quality of life in Fresno through the use of high visibility patrol in a non-confrontational manner.
I think my most important responsibility is to assist the officers in our city in order for them to be freed up to be able to help the community and do the crime fighting that they need to be doing. We work on abandoned vehicles, we patrol through the shopping centers and give handicap sites if people are illegally parked in the handicap spots. If we find a stranded motorist on the road, we can stop and assist them, block the traffic behind them so they don't get hit, and just patrolling down the road in case there's anything going on, and just waiting for a call from the officers if they need us.
We can get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, so up you get and into your uniform and you're out there in the field working and helping the community as well as yourself.
I really do wish we would have had some sort of a program like this long ago, because they will assist us, whether it be standing by for a tow truck on a long involved accident that we may be on, assist us with talking to victims. Whatever we need, they're just another tool for us to use.
I've had sergeants come up to me and say, I know when the volunteers are on duty because my officers work that much more efficiently.
The Volunteer Chaplaincy Program is a service that is provided through the Fresno Police Department, made up almost entirely of volunteers, all of whom have significant ministry experience and training that helps them do their job. We deliver the death notifications. The person who knocks on that mother or father's door is someone who is trained to break bad news gently and to care for the person in grief. Another thing that we have is the NEST, the Neighborhood Support Team. This is an ambulance that has been refurbished to serve as a center for hospitality and information whenever there is an extended call, such as a long homicide investigation or a SWAT call. And when people need to talk to a chaplain, an officer can come get one of us, say this person needs a chaplain, and we have all kinds of availability to people.
The program helps police officers by adding personnel to the department to help us respond to incidents that don't necessarily require a police officer, but they need some sort of police department presence.
I saw the real value of what they can do to assist us and officers out on the street, and which ultimately assists the community as a whole.
I think they're screened well enough to have the right people in there that have the right motivation to do this. It's all been positive.
And the people that I have seen that have volunteered really have their heart into it.
It's important to have volunteers be able to take up some of those duties that police officers don't have time to perform. And in turn, that frees up police officers to be more available for patrolling neighborhoods and preventing crime.
Lowell was the first planned industrial community. Right from the beginning, the city has been a city of immigrants. It's a very diverse city, but a city that has a great work ethic. We really needed a way to do outreach to the community and to make the police department as transparent as possible so that we could build trust among the community that we police.
The Citizen Police Academy is attended by people from the surrounding areas. It's a 14-week program.
People are trained in a variety of ways with class lectures, presentations, hands-on experience.
We have a fast machine.
Turn around and put your hands in the air.
It gives people a better perspective of exactly what we have to deal with.
Walk back towards me.
And how that split-second decision follows you for the rest of your life.
The K-9 patrol officers are always a hit. They come in to demonstrate to people exactly how the K-9 are used in search and rescue, in drug enforcement, in other ways with the police department. After the CPA training is completed, each of the participants is allowed to take a ride along with a patrol officer. It gives people the opportunity to see firsthand what the patrolmen face in the city.
There used to be a significant gang problem in the back Central Street area on Butler Ave. Kind of run that crew out of that area now.
A large percent of the people that go through the Citizen Police Academy in the future do some type of volunteer work.
Our community volunteers typically are placed in precincts around the city.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Walter. I'm a volunteer for the Lowell Police Department. I'm a personal administrative assistant to the captain. I do quality of life issues. I call them into the correct departments, whether it's the fire department, the health department, the tow truck people, whatever situation it is, I can handle.
The members of the auxiliary basically are there to support the efforts of the sworn officers, helping with crowd control, traffic control, and those type of issues.
The auxiliary guys are out there taking over the intersections, whereas the regular police officers can return to their regular duty and be available for any emergency calls that come up.
The volunteer program has made an incredible difference in the relationship between the community and the police.
They perform a great function for us. It's got us with more time back on the street as opposed to being into the station or the precincts doing stuff that could be done by somebody else.
It's just a dedicated group of volunteer citizens interested in returning a service to the community and the law enforcement profession.